Hey there, thanks for joining us at the Rabbit Hole of Research, where you'll learn a few facts that you can impress your friends with at a party. Hey, welcome back to the Rabbit Hole of Research, down here in the basement studio.
Fully loaded.
The new reorganized basement studio. That's right. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what
Every mic is full.
Every mic is full now. We had to knock some walls out. We went to Iron Man.
This is our
reconstruction mode. Yeah. So yeah, I got to post some pictures. It really looks different in here. But we have a great episode planned.
Well, it's going.
We do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
You want to introduce yourself there, buddy?
Yeah, I am Joe. Yeah, let's get into it. I'm Joe.
You got Nick.
We've got Nick.
Georgia.
We got Georgia.
You got Mary.
We got Mary.
And hey, look, we got some special guests over here.
In person, in studio.
In studio.
In
Full.
studio.
All 6 mics are hot right now. So please.
I'm Ann.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm TJ.
TJ, yep. And we are here to talk about Briar East woods and urban deforestation. So, yeah, it's
close to home for
close
all
to
of
home.
us here.
Yeah, we're right
Right.
here, and probably for a number of people in urban settings that have to deal with this. And we'll get into a lot of that.
Do you have a monologue for us today,
I do.
Joe?
Actually, I have one. This one touched me a little bit, so I put something together for y'all. I'm going to lay it on you.
I'm going to start crying.
I'm going to start this episode millennium ago, 4,700 years ago, to be exact. By this point in geological time, Lake Michigan had already spent thousands of years shoving sand inland, building ridge after sand ridge, and then the water receded and one of these ridges dried out. And this is the point it stopped being a beach and started transforming into something else. Actually, what happened next is the only reason there's a forest in Hammond. On this dry sand ridge, marmum grass came first, and their roots formed a complex network that could hold the sand down, so the wind couldn't erode it back into Lake Michigan. Over the next centuries, the grass dried, rotted, and made something you could call soil. That soil brought cottonwoods, brought pines, brought oaks, each one building the ground the next one needed, eventually transforming that sand ridge into a forest. Not sure if you're keeping count, but to create a forest, you need a lot of time. It took centuries for Briar East woods to form. To put this into context, compared to man-made urban jungles, Chicago burnt to the ground and rebuilt itself in 20 years. To understand how a forest assembles, a little over a century ago, a UChicago botanist named Henry Cowles walked these same dunes, noticed that walking inland was the same as walking forward through time, and more or less invented the science of ecology. And that ecology, in 32 acres of original ancient dune that is now a forest sitting in Hammond, like all urban forests, it's more important than most people realize. It absorbs stormwater that would otherwise be in someone's basement. It pulls the temperature down a few degrees on a summer afternoon, and it does all this without sending anybody a bill. And 126 years after Henry Cowles worked out how the dune assembled a forest, another UChicago researcher, Marc Berman, is now working out the positive effects nature and the forest can have on a human brain, calling it environmental neuroscience. And that's the trouble. All the benefit the forest does for free never shows up on a city planner's budget line. And there's always an overpass that needs somewhere to go or a project to pave paradise to put it in a parking lot. Preach it, Joni Mitchell. And if the woods could petition, politic, or argue on their own, the way they're always doing in fiction, they win every time. But unfortunately, they can't. So in this episode, we're going to make the case for them.
Wow, Joe.
That was
Very
great.
beautifully put.
Thank you.
I think that was your best one.
Oh,
That should be the end of them.
That's it. That's it. You guys heard it here.
Yeah, awesome.
We're done. Hack it up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's, I like a place to start. I went over a few things in there, and we'll probably unpack it a little bit more, but I'll go ahead and let the guests dive into the Briar Ridge, what it is, what it's about.
Briar East.
Oh, sorry. Briar Ridge? Is there a Briar Ridge? That's something.
There is.
I think
there's
it's
a lot
like
of
a
Briar.
housing.
Oh, that's right. Briar East. Sorry.
Stop.
That's where the rich people are.
It's
We
like,
gotta
what-
get burned.
Briar East not manifesting that.
Oh, this would be edited out. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, I just talk about Briar East. Yeah, just what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Well, I really like the historical perspective you put on that. And I do think that the image of walking forward from the shoreline into the land is so powerful because it really is such an ancient place, and it pales in comparison to, you know, the development that's come up there over the past couple hundred years. It's thousands of years old, 4,700 years old, as you said. And it's basically the last sliver of that ancient dune land left, and it is genuine sand dune ecosystem, which makes it unique. So, yeah, the plants there are ancient plants, and they need to be saved because, as you were saying as well, you know, even for the people who are living there, Hammond is a really industrialized, overdeveloped area already, and the benefits of that forest are not being recognized at all by the administration there.
Yeah.
For the people who live around it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Like you were saying, I think, for the people of Hammond in Northwest Indiana, spaces like this that anchor you to, like, the heritage of the land and, like, something that is real about where you live and not artificial is really crucial for everyone's psychology.
Yeah.
And let alone it being an urban green space for people to, with 2.5 miles of trails in it that people constantly use until the city fences it off. But, you know.
And can you give a little background on what is happening and why this is an issue? Like,
well, maybe let's step back just a little bit, even more than that. Like, we're talking about Briar East Woods. Yeah, Briar East Woods in Hammond, Indiana. So, and so how did you all get involved with this? How did you get started with this project, Anne?
Well, TJ and I got involved at the same time.
Okay.
Because we went to a Hammond City Council meeting and we heard there's a public expression at every meeting, and Ken Rozek would speak at the meetings every week. And so we heard him talk. And then after that, we ended up running into him at a bar and he gave us the whole spiel. And then a couple of weeks later, I think, gave us a tour of the woods.
We were hooked.
We were hooked because it was so beautiful to see it, and the idea of it not being there anymore, it was really distressing. So but Ken has been working, the project has been in motion since 2018. So the city of Hammond has a bridge project that they're trying to build right through the woods. So it would take up 12 acres of the 32 acres of the woodland, and it's a bridge that's supposed to go over the train tracks, but the way that it's aligned, it basically clears the way for a path for an entirely new subdivision with 68 residential lots and then 2 commercial spaces, which is what was included on the city of Hammond's grant application to the state. And they used to deny that there was going to be any housing, and then at some points the Mayor McDermott of Hammond has slipped up and said, oh no, well, there might be, or, you know, something like that. So
I would never rule it out.
He would never rule it out.
Right.
And if there were,
The
then
money comes.
just think how much more everyone else's property values would go up.
Right.
Yeah. If that were to happen. Yeah.
Sounds like the plot to Avatar, right?
I was just thinking the
right.
exact same thing. I was like, what, you just want to use the natural resources just
That's
to say screw it?
Cut down a mother tree and dig out the
Might as well.
ore.
Look at all the
That's
stuff
right.
in
That's
there.
Right. All this stuff. We're going to make tons of money. Everyone's going to make money, right? Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. But you were talking about the kind of impact and the neurological part of it, that you go and walking in the woods. There's a lot of research into that now, that having wooded area and people going into nature really has that positive effect on them. And just spending time, you have that. But the problem is when you live in urban areas, the folks who can get to wooded areas is limited. So having this in an area like in Hammond and having that local resource so you don't have to travel far, I think that's another point there. So you said there's trails and things like that crisscross through.
Yeah, it's super important to maintain that urban green space and the access to it, because it's not only beneficial for people, but it's actually harmful living in an urban environment often with the noise pollution, the air pollution. It is psychologically distressing as well as physically distressing. And living in cities with high amounts of pollution like that is linked to cardiovascular disease and anxiety, depression, all types of things like that. So to take away urban green space in a place that already has like the heaviest truck traffic in the country
And is
obscene.
directly south of 2 steel mills and an oil refinery.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you have that. But the Indiana Dunes is an example where they built up industry and
Yeah.
they maintained and preserved the dunes, creating a national park, the National Lake Shore in 66, the National Park in 2019. So you had this industry. So really a model exists that you can.
But also, that
know.
was because of just specific certain people that fought for that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, which-
yeah. Go ahead,
The model that exists is industry and developers wanting all of it,
Right,
right.
which
Yeah,
is what's
right.
happening with
Right.
Briar East Woods.
Right, and
Right.
then
And then-
someone
Right.
standing up and saying, "Wait a second."
Yeah.
And then
you
yeah,
know.
people that
Yeah.
live there mobilizing against
And saying
that
that, yep.
force.
So is your mission to make it a national park, or
Hey, I'm not against it.
what is
Yeah, right. Why not?
like?
I think just a city park, really.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
or to be honest with you, just to leave it alone. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But it's
think-
a historical site, though, right? That's
Oh,
the
for
thing.
sure,
Like for
yeah.
this,
It would
you
be
know,
nice
this
if
movement,
it was
right,
officially
right,
protected, which
right.
I don't know what that means these
Right.
days.
That's right. Well, that's
it
it.
doesn't carry much weight.
right, right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Just 'cause with the dunes being a national park, I didn't know if that would be a beneficial
Right.
goal or if it's
thi-
just
An extension of the dunes, like in that
yes.
its
Yeah.
status.
It is the same dune ridge,
Right.
like, you know,
Yep.
the
High
actual,
Tolleson shoreline.
the high Tolleson shoreline.
That's right. Yeah.
So ideally, at the end of the day, it would be part of the national
Right,
park.
right.
But I think the main
Okay.
goal right now is to stop the development project, which, by the way, is called Governor's Parkway. And then it would be to
Yeah. You need to-
protect it and make sure that it's a park, make sure it's preserved, you know, not going to be developed in any way, shape, or form. And then maybe we can talk state and national level. But yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, something I find really interesting about Briar East Woods specifically, as opposed to protected parks that are across Northwest Indiana, is that it's not a park, it's not protected, it's just undeveloped land, which
Right.
lends a very unique character to it. One where it's not like they close the doors and shut the fence.
It's very organic.
It's
very,
extremely
like-
organic.
Yeah.
All the trails are made by the people that live there.
Yeah.
That walk
Nothing is
through.
maintained. It's only maintained by people that ride ATVs through there that need to chop up trees that fall on the trails. And
us when we clean up. the
and
trash.
and,
Right,
and
right,
us,
right.
yes.
Yeah, you mentioned Ken and his efforts, right? He was a duster. Was that what was it called? The
Yeah, so
yeah.
The
the
Dune
original
Dusters.
name of the group, which is now more formally known as Save Briar East Woods, it was the Dune Dusters
The Dune
because he
Dusters.
started
Dune
organizing
Dusters
cleanups.
sounds cool. That's
Yeah.
like that's
I
fun.
kinda wish you guys
That's,
were
yeah,
still
right. I
called
mean,
the
It's
Dune
more
Dusters.
swaggy. We still use
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You could say AKA.
Yeah, right. You got a little icon, like a little guy, like with a little duster kind of going through there.
How about
Oh, I thought it was just
how
a
about-
jacket.
Oh, a jacket, yeah.
How
Not
about a
trench
show,
coat, though.
Duster in the Dunes? where
Oh,
we-
yeah.
yeah,
Like the
like
play the
band.
album.
Yeah.
Duster can be a little woodland creature, like, you know, it's like, yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's cool. No, so that's how that all started. Community driven. Ken took the charge of that.
Now, you
and-
said you got involved in 2018. When did Ken first?
So the project itself, the city of Hammond applied for funding for it in 2018, and then Ken began organizing
I
in
think
very
a year later.
around 2019, 2020.
Oh, so you guys were like ground floor of this.
TJ and I got involved in 2022.
Oh,
So
yeah. Okay.
it was very localized before then. To mostly people, it's in the Hessville neighborhood of Hammond, so very
Okay.
local issue.
Yeah.
And then
And then it branched out to people living in South Hammond.
There's interlopers.
Yeah, yeah. What are you doing
in
here?
the region at large, in the Midwest, in
Yes.
the coal
Right.
country,
Right.
yeah,
The world?
the world even.
What I was going to say, I mean, we're focused on local because we all live in the Northwest Indiana area, and this is important. I mentioned about the kind of stormwater and things like that, clean air. You mentioned noise control. But I saw this USDA in 2018 paper. It was about U.S. urban community areas lose approximately 36 million trees a year, about 100,000 acres, roughly 1% of canopy in 5 years. And almost all of that is swapped for impervious surfaces, so pavements, buildings, parking lots. So you have this, and I think they noted Georgia at the time was the state with the steepest canopy loss. And so, yeah, this is a serious problem.
I think when you think of deforestation, you think of like the Amazon.
That's right, yeah.
You
yeah.
think
Cut
about
and burn,
something
that's what we learned.
like
yeah.
far away.
Yep.
No,
Slash
it's
and burn, yeah.
happening.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't think about it because we're we're industrialized. And so we're just marching forward with our structures, housing. Instead of going vertical, we'd like to go horizontal. And I think that's the presidential center, Obama presidential, went up, and it's a vertical structure. And people are like, oh, why is it vertical? It's like, well, they were giving them a hard time, but really they dedicated a lot of that space to restoring the area around that and the gardens and everything. So there was some effort in an urban area to actually build this museum, and then also have these structures that benefit the community and build.
I think that also is a matter of the community too.
Right, that's right.
Because Jackson Park has very passionate people wanting to protect Jackson Park. So I'm sure that had a huge
and I'm sure that
part of it. I'm not saying they didn't listen, because obviously, but.
Well, that Marc Berman, I think that's a lot of his research. That the famous one was walk in the park experiments, where he had people go on a 50-minute walk through the park, and their psychology changed, their attention, they could focus. So people with attention deficit, things like that, they became much more aware, and they could actually focus on things like that. Yeah, then he's gone on to do other studies, ones where it's like if you have just 11 trees like per block, like that's enough to actually start. That's equivalent to a $10,000 salary raise or 7 years of cardiovascular health. Yeah, it's really like just these things. So he talks about that in spaces and stuff. Yeah,
there's a big. Is it called Big Brains?
Big Brains. That's right. Yeah,
it's a podcast from UChicago, and they had one specifically on his research.
Yep, that's right. Yeah,
that's something to check out because it's really good.
So what was his name again?
After you listen to this episode.
After you listen to this episode.
You have to
after this one.
Right. Marc Berman. Okay. Yeah, he's a University of Chicago faculty member. Yeah.
Okay.
And they, like he said, like even people that don't like nature,
that's right.
Still got
that's right. Yeah, he did. Yep. That was some of his research.
Despite themselves, they still got.
Even if you're there, but you can't be. It was really interesting. You can't be on like your phone in there. Put your phone away.
What about headphones? Are headphones
so you
allowed?
You want to be immersed in nature. And it was really interesting because then it was like, why? And some of the reasons that they had was that when you go through nature, the environment is low res, right? So when you go through, and they start this fractal idea. So fractal is this kind of scale-free repeating pattern. So like a snowflake, if you look at it, it's got its shape. If you zoom in, you see the same shape. You zoom in further, it's the same shape. So that's a fractal. It's a repeating kind of a pattern. And when you're out in nature, the structures, mountains, tree canopy, they have a fractal pattern. And so your brain can just process that. And if you think of it in computer terms, one way you can compress images is take like 100 megabit image and make it 10 because your brain doesn't recognize the condensing of the pixels. So
I don't know why that clicked with me more than what you said before.
So that's what we do here. We try to give a lot of examples, make it work. And so that's kind of the idea that when you walk through the forest, your brain isn't processing. Your brain also isn't labeling everything. It's like tree, leaf, grass. You look at grass on the ground, you're not counting every blade. Whereas when you're in an urban environment, you are processing a lot of language. What's this building? What's this shop? What's this here? You're going through and your brain is mentally mapping your environment much heavier, and your focus is really different. So you have this kind of focus difference that you're going through when you're in nature. And that allows you then to, when you come out, you're actually refreshed because your brain wasn't heavily worked in this time period. So really, it's really fascinating research and going through that and how beneficial this is in some of the studies. And then there was even, they tried to do it with pictures. So would a picture of the farm nature work? And I think some of the I think it was like, it's just as good. But I think there's other blind studies that are like, it's probably best if you get out and go. But once again, it's access, right? But it's access. And they had things where they did in some of the projects and things in urban environments. And they had it because that's randomized. You just put in whatever apartment. So some looked out to green spaces, some looked out to non-green spaces. Same thing with health patients. You're assigned your room at random.
Just having windows,
right? Having windows looking out to a green space that improved health recovery. That also led to conditions in these kind of different homes. So
would having like those windowsill plants be helpful in that case? Like if you're in a higher floor,
right?
I'm sure.
There was talk. I mean, that was the other thing. It was about having indoor plants. So let's say you're in a space like the basement studio. We don't get a lot of natural. We get some
There's
natural light.
nothing green down
But we
here.
need some. Yeah. So I thought about when I was reading all this
I
and doing
think
my
we
research.
need like a sun lamp or something.
I thought about you need to have plants, have some artificial plants, because the same fractal.
Artificial?
Yeah, you can have artificial plants and have those in your space.
Those are easier to get.
You won't get the olfactory, the smell, the kind of sensory, but you will get the visual kind of relaxation there. So yeah, it's bringing these ideas.
So we need a
of
tree in the
we need a
basement.
tree in a basement studio. We're gonna do like we need some more subscribers. Come on, we can get a tree. Help us get a tree in the basement.
Plant one right here in the middle of the desk.
Adopt a tree.
It's like adopt a tree. Yeah, we'll write your name on every leaf or something. I don't know. Do something. It's an artificial tree, not a real tree.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not going to torture a real tree that way.
Yeah.
But
We are anti-torturing trees. Thank you.
That's our whole thing.
Oh, is that what wait, are you guys the pro getting rid? Guys, no.
yeah. You mentioned the age of some of those trees, and I think there's black oaks,
Yeah.
and they're like in the hundreds of years old.
Yeah, 150, 200
Yeah,
years
yeah.
old.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked about this on the mini, but I'm in the middle of reading this book called When Trees Testify. So really interesting. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's called Science, Wisdom, History, and America's Black Botanical Legacy. Baronda Montgomery talks about these tree species through America, through the lens of Black America, and how these trees hold history. And some of it is just a process of photosynthesis, sunlight converting CO2 to sugars and producing oxygen on the back end that we breathe in. And we exhale CO2, carbon dioxide, for the plants to have this process happen. And the idea then is that trees take that in. So historically, people that were around a tree, you're walking through Briar East and you're breathing, these trees are making your CO2 that you've exhaled, a part of you, molecules that were in your body, then become part of this tree, its bark, its structures, its complex structures, its stable structures as it grows. And so through history, 150 years of history, that's a century and a half, 2 centuries, 200 years old. That's a lot of time and a lot of people who passed through there. And both the good and the bad, if we think of trees in American history, what they were used for. So it was just really good. And so when you think of these ancient trees in forests like that, the history and the things they've witnessed is really just powerful. And I think people don't think about that. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of trees in Briar Woods that are as old as the city itself.
Oh, yes.
If not older.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And just the individual tree, it's been there the whole time.
Right. Right. Watching, like
Yeah.
judging.
See it
Soaking
all.
it in. Yeah.
Yeah, that sense of place.
Yeah.
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 No, yeah.
Yeah, they're like monuments in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can tell a lot about what's happened in an area too, like from opening up a tree and investigating the inside,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
core too.
Yeah.
So they hold on to all of that.
And seeing the rings and the,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
I totally
right.
forgot about that. That's I was like,
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah.
doing? Opening up trees?
Yeah, no,
do
we're
that.
torturing-
Save
no
trees.
torturing trees.
We just went over this.
It's like,
It's only a
Crack this
tree
baby
that,
open.
I wonder how many toilet papers we can make from this tree.
Oh no.
yeah, you're walking through. Hey, buddy, you behave, okay?
Joe,
So-
I
stop
see
threatening
Sherman
them.
was here. Sherman.
For Briar East Woods, the justification for cutting down Briar East Woods keeps changing too.
Right.
By the
Like-
day.
right, like,
Whenever
so-
you get them.
So I became aware of this issue very late in the game, just only in like the last year and a half or so. But what was the justification for cutting down Briar East Woods originally when Ken got involved with us? Or
Yeah, so Hammond is a city, and especially the Hessville neighborhood, there's a lot of train crossings. And so there was there was a fatality that occurred at the Grand Avenue crossing, which is a bit east of Briar East Woods. And additionally, there was a public safety crisis and ProPublica reported on this in 2023, where there's 5 schools on Grand Avenue, and children walking to school would get caught by the train, and so they would start climbing or crawling.
Parked train.
Parked trains.
Yeah.
Parked
They were,
trains.
when they were there, they were like stayed still, like standing. Stop trains were stopped so long.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
hours or sometimes days.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Up to like 3 days, I think,
Yeah.
was the longest one. So the idea behind the bridge that is going to cut through Briar East Woods is to alleviate that issue of the stalled trains, getting around those trains, particularly for school children.
However,
We can dispute that point very well.
let's
Yeah.
talk about
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
so the on Grand Avenue where the train was parked and all the kids are crossing and all the schools are, that's wonderful. We need a bridge there, perhaps. The bridge is a mile away.
the bridge
yes,
in Briar
yes,
East
yes,
Woods,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Briar East Woods, the trail it would take the kids on is a 2-mile detour to walk to
Right.
school.
So it's always
So they
easier.
were trying to
right.
make this a solution for that.
Yes.
When
Was it going to be any solution at all, though? Like, there's
No.
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 Oh, no.
So, like,
So there's obviously
What?
some other reasoning
Agenda.
behind.
And
Yeah.
so-
What's happening?
And so and so then the mayor would just keep on, and the city would just keep on spitting out different. Oh well, the woods are dirty. The woods have trash in them.
Yeah, the emergency vehicles can't get around.
there's
Think of the
dirt in
children. The
forest.
children need to
that
cross.
Makes sense.
Won't anyone please think of the children?
But that's like
Yeah.
there are actual problems that could be addressed, and they got grant money to address it.
Yes.
And instead, they're using it on like a housing development project.
Right.
Just and we have to throw a bridge in there.
Yeah.
But like, it's like
And a bridge that won't help
A
the
bridge,
issue.
a bridge that will not help anyone.
It's
Yeah.
like over a mile away from where like the kids would need it to cross, right?
Yeah, it's a mile west of Grand Avenue, the train crossing at Grand Avenue, which is where all of these issues are happening.
And then didn't they say something like, well, the kids that walk to school will still have to have this issue.
Yes.
They'll still have
Yeah.
to like, it's like,
Right,
Right,
wait a
right. They're not
Well,
going
then
to walk
why
a
are they-
mile out their way in the loop. Yeah.
I'll give
Yeah.
you another funny one. So the second most popular one that they use is, well, emergency vehicles need to be able to cross parked trains. And so what happens then? So we're like, okay, yeah, sure. But here's the thing. In order to build this bridge, they're coming off of the main thoroughfare that emergency vehicles use to go north-south through Hessville. And so they're going to close that road and instead take them on a winding journey through Briar East
Or the new
Are you
subdivision.
kidding? Oh my gosh. That's
and introduce 2 new intersections.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it make more sense just to have the bridge go over the railroad tracks?
Yes.
Like this is such a simple solution. How am I the one able to be able to think this out?
I feel like you're leading it like one solution is quick and relatively less expensive.
Yeah, significantly
but
less
doesn't
expensive.
lead to a fancy,
Well, yeah, like-
fancy housing development.
Like the
right?
the comparison of the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say what the numbers would be now because the figures are
Oh,
so
yeah.
old.
It's been
Yeah.
years now. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, the last figure for Governor's Parkway, I think they recently changed it to 13 million. It was up to 16 million at one point.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So now it's like 13 million.
Well, they're funding it with different sources too.
Yeah.
It's federal funds and state
It's federal,
funds.
state, and then the city pays 20%
Yes.
Oh, right.
of the whole cost. So taxpayers
Yeah.
of Hammond.
And I think they were going to try and use COVID relief funds for that.
Yeah.
Last time I checked.
Yeah, right. Is that account still active? We'll check it out. But this reminds me, you guys are talking some of the political stuff. In Mumbai, India, they did something like that. The Airy, the Green Lung, they wanted to build a metro rail depot. So research like this was in 2019. They felled about 2,600 trees. And one of the government's, their line was, Airy cannot be a forest just because it has greenery. And so it was this whole rhetorical
Water
kind of
is
thing.
not
It's
water, even though it's
exactly.
wet.
It's like, oh, in the forest, just because it's green. Like, this has got green space. So, you were saying, TJ, you guys were, you get these lines,
It's like
and it's like,
double
what is
speed.
that?
It's double speed.
Yeah, what is that
It's-
exactly?
yeah.
Like, are we not supposed to think about that?
It's so stupid that it makes you go, Yeah, it has to be true.
But unfortunately,
No one's this dumb.
right.
through. But yeah, no, it's one of these interesting things where they say things and it's like, oh yeah, green, what?
Well, it's
So-
I mean, people do say that all the time, and
Yes,
it's not,
Yeah.
the city doesn't look at it as a forest. They look at it as a place where people dump trash, which isn't even true. But
And a place where kids go to smoke weed.
Yeah.
Which is true.
which is true, but
But
they're going to do it
that's
somewhere.
fine.
Place.
Yeah.
You're in a good
Is it
environment
good,
of nature.
makeout spaces in
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
Or
Is
somewhere,
that
some-
not what an urban
you know,
forest
right,
is
right.
for?
We
That's right,
need
yeah.
makeout
Yeah.
spaces.
You guys should have a little sign like, these are the babies. These are our babies.
Oh,
you know,
no. Joe, no.
legit, that gives them,
Use protection and then clean it up afterwards. Come on, kids.
That's their plan. Maybe that's your, like your picnic or whatever.
Joe,
Why's it got to be?
Look, anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Yes.
Your mother and I met in Briar East Woods.
Yeah. Can you tell me the story again?
It is weird the way like the city council. Well, they'll often say like the woods are dirty.
Yeah.
Like, well, then we could clean them.
Well-
I mean, if
so
trash
are the
blows in.
sidewalks and
Yeah, like
right,
if trash blows into your yard, you don't burn down your house. You just pick up the trash, right?
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah. So,
I constantly do this, Mary.
but constantly burning
problem.
down your house.
A major
You have to
problem.
Like when
move
your
all
third
the
house.
time.
It's like,
If my
But-
fridge goes
Yeah.
out, oof,
Yeah.
that house is gone.
But it does feel very much like double speak, like a woods
Yeah.
could be dirty.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a strange. Yeah.
I mean,
anyway.
it's also a counter argument people try to make because you have the woods, and I brought up all these positives, but then people go, if you got woods, then you could have people like sneaking in there, hiding crime rates, the sight lines are wrong, and people are going to get. So you have this thing where
Surveillance
people,
is hard.
They try right exactly
Yeah.
like it's like, we need more cameras in the woods. But yeah, no, I think you have these kind of counter arguments, especially in urban environments where crime gets sensationalized in a lot of places, and there's an overreaction. And if you have wooded areas, sometimes that's the first place to get attacked. It's like, oh yeah, aha, I know what's going to stop the crime. It's like,
Is it because they're doing crimes out there? Like,
right, yeah.
can I go out there and find them and be
Yeah.
like, hey, I see you doing
Right,
crimes?
that's like, we know where you're at, but we're not. We're just going to cut it down.
That's
Gonna
the
get you.
thing, though, is there's never been a crime reported in
Right.
Briar
Right,
East
that's
Woods. It's like,
Yes.
yes,
Oh,
okay,
man.
like, ooh, spooky, scary woods, like horror
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
but crimes really
Yeah.
don't tend to happen
Yeah.
in natural area. You can
Yeah.
look,
Right.
I don't know the
Yeah.
statistics on it, but
right.
You
yeah,
can intuit.
you can
Right,
intuit.
right.
But you really has there. You look back. Yeah, that's not something. Anyway. Yeah.
Man, just to pull on the thread because I was going to get there a little bit, but you mentioned horror, and in fiction, you have woods portrayed a couple of ways, right? You have the trees, or you have defenders of the woods, and that could be a positive entity. But you also have, on the horror side, you have entities in the woods which are protective of their space and people intruding in that space. And I think we talked here about some of the horror episodes. That horror is a good way to think about trauma and explore loss, and things like that. And I wonder if that's, you watch some of these and go, oh yeah, that's what it would feel like if you lost, this wooded space.
Yeah, I think it's devastating. It's very scary to imagine like single family housing going up over such an ancient and beautiful place. And yeah, I mean, it is like, not to be dramatic, but it's really destructive to tear down all those trees. I mean, it's beautiful natural area. They're massacring the
Right,
woods.
right.
Like,
Yes.
Right.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's consequences for that too, because we're recording this in late July, and just a couple weeks ago we had some really torrential rains that came through this area about 3 weeks ago, and I kept thinking, as this was, thinking how much worse it would be if we didn't have Briar East Woods to soak up the water. And go ahead.
I've always had this dream of a horror movie that I wanted made about Northwest Indiana, because Northwest Indiana used to all be like the Everglades of the North,
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon
Yeah.
Marsh, and you just keep on draining it. And that's something about Briar East Woods, is that it is a sponge for all the
That's right.
water.
That's
And so
right.
my dream horror movie is that we pave over the last green space in Northwest Indiana, and then the swamp just kind of rises out of the
Yeah.
sewers.
Yeah,
right,
and
right.
entities of the forest come
Right.
back to reclaim all of
kind of
Northwest
yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah. There it is. Like,
Like a man
That
thing.
was like a man thing.
I want to watch it.
John Carpenter's The Fog,
Yeah.
where you had that, where the fog that's 83-ish or
That sounds
somewhere in
right.
that ballpark, and you have the fog rolls in, and it's these. It was about pirates reclaiming their gold, but it was a
That could
town.
happen,
Like,
right?
Maybe there's some pirate
it was
treasure out there. You know,
but
who
it was a
knows?
natural phenomenon. This fog would
Yeah.
kind of roll in, and then they would come out the fog, and
Yeah.
gotcha.
Like Mary was saying, though, that is kind of already happening in Hammond, though.
Right.
Because when it rains, Hammond is so overdeveloped,
Yeah.
and it is low. It's the dunes are right there, so
Yeah.
people's basements flood, and it's sewage.
The streets
Yeah.
flood.
The
entire
streets
Flood.
street.
Yeah.
You can take a boat down the streets sometimes, but
Right.
it is literally people have raw sewage coming up several feet in their basements, and this is like the consequence
of that.
of
yeah.
overdevelopment.
Yeah. Right.
And we could. I was going to say you had the Hurricane Harvey in 2017 in Houston, and because of just decades of paving over wooded areas and these areas that can act as a sponge and naturally absorb water. Right, hurricanes have been happening forever on Earth,
And again, for no
yeah, right.
cost.
It's got for free. And so a lot of people said that the flooding was worse because you didn't really have these kind of buffers now
Yeah.
to these natural buffers, storm surges, and the amount of water there. So that then just comes into people's houses. You are now the sponge. So get your sump pump and your insurance claims ready, because that's what's going to happen if you lose these natural kind of protectors that buffer you against the environment and the other weather events that happen. So
Exactly.
yeah, there's real examples of that.
And people suffer.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And
That's right. That's
at
right.
the end of the day,
That's right.
it's people suffer.
That's right.
And the mayor's solution to that was, well, buy a backflow valve.
Right.
Yeah, they
right,
have no
right,
recourse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or get insurance. Like, so you're in areas which are already economically depressed sometimes, because these are where some of these places go. So you're taking the last little forest away. So we talk about all the health benefits.
Do you think
And
that
then you
might be
go.
part of the plan, though? Like, it is a low income area, and taking out this forest, having
Right.
it take away this sponge, it can end up driving out the low income. And then they can go ahead and build Mary's Bear Stadium.
Yeah, that's right.
My stadium.
It's gonna be named after you, right?
We
The
know you're so
Barry
excited
Stadium.
about that.
Aren't you
Oh
an
my
investor,
God.
right? Like,
if it ends up going into Hammond, I'm going to become a Packers fan for life.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know, right? But so yeah, well, one of the things that I would love to do at the mayor's night out in October, which in October 28th to be specific. Check gohammond.com.
Good plug.
For your, but they do these mayor's night outs. Oh gosh, the last one that happened in the 6th district last year. It's the 6th district is Councilman Scott Rakos's district, where he represents this area, which includes Briar East Woods. And all of us, there are lots of people there that wanted to talk about Briar East Woods, and the mayor tried to curate the whole event as this is like a done deal and nobody cares about this anymore, when most people wanted to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So I think for this year, I think it would be nice if everyone brought a sponge and gave it to Scott Rakos. Just here, you might need this if you foolishly get your way, and maybe that will be like, hi, here you go.
Yeah.
We can give them a sponge full of raw sewage.
Yeah, that's right. Have a little cup. Do that.
there you go. You're gonna have it in a
That's
bag,
what-
right?
that's what-
And not just loose in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
pocket. Like,
Is that the drink they're mixing up? Raw sewage at the bar?
no,
just-
that's not.
You're going to need some You're going to need some sponges
I
if
like
you do
that,
what you do. If you do what you do, so
Maybe a copy of the Lorax.
The copy
Yeah.
of Lorax, to
Yeah.
do that. Or, I mean,
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
love
been.
Danny
I think it's
DeVito.
been dictated to him at one of the city council meetings.
No, but they
show
just they just check out during public expression. They make it by design that they don't interact, and well, unless they want to. But they don't answer any questions. It's just you just wail into the heavens kind of thing,
Right.
But they don't really have to. They just look down.
Acknowledge.
Yeah, they just ignore you.
They're on their
But
phone.
I
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
true.
would say it sounds very hopeful, though, because it sounds
Yeah.
like
yeah.
despite how much they are pushing this, they've really gotten slowed down, at least.
They have gotten slowed down. The project's been on pause for over a year now. So
3 years, right? I mean,
3 years.
Well, I
That
guess
sounds-
technically
is that
3, but like nothing has happened on it since June of last year. Because
Are they hoping that people forget and then we're going to, I don't know.
It's hard to say. I mean, they haven't said a word about it in over a year.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the Bears Stadium will play a big role in that. To be quite honest,
I agree.
Right.
because the mayor's like it was his thing, Briar East Woods, and developing Governor's Parkway.
He's very spiteful.
Yeah.
It's an ego thing
He's
for him.
very emotional.
Yeah, he's
And
very
unstable.
Yeah, he's definitely got a temper.
Yeah, but
He's going to subscribe from this podcast.
and so I think, my reason for saying that is that I think it's a lot of emotional labor for him to dedicate. I'm being serious
Yeah.
to like fighting his residents tooth and nail
Right.
to
Right.
like hurt them.
Right.
And
Right.
so when he's got the Bear Stadium going on, I think it would just be too much for him.
It would be, and it would be a big enough win for him.
Yeah.
Right.
To be
Let's say we got
satisfied.
it.
Yeah.
That people will be kind of happy. I
Like
was going to
if
say there's. Go ahead.
If he gets the stadium, you think that will be?
Feather in a cap, like.
I think it would be a good thing for Briar East Woods,
Yeah.
but then they would probably develop Wolf Lake, which is a whole other
That's well,
issue.
right. Yeah. Then
So-
you just move it. I think it's
just
getting the
move
it.
importance. Yeah. It's just moving.
Say Wolf Lake.
You gotta, be,
Right.
Yeah.
the duster's got to dust somewhere else
Yeah.
now. We're packing up.
It's been brought up.
But I was going to say, there's some. I mean, I looked it up, and you can get pessimistic about it, but also maybe examples where people have done things. So one was in Seoul, and they created an overpass similar to this project, a 6-lane elevated highway, and they buried a stream and with concrete, and it was like, and then some change of kind of a feeling about that. This green corridor was destroyed. They actually restored the stream.
Oh, wow.
And had this come in, and they had almost a 600% jump in a local biodiversity within a few years, local cooling by several degrees, better air quality, all these things that y'all are talking about with the Briar East and keeping it there in this urban setting. This is one where they saw property values went up, so kind of property values go up. We do this project. No, they'll go up if you improve this green space, if
Right.
you put some effort into it. If you actually, this
Right.
is here for free. You're not, like you said, no one's doing anything. The trails, everything's not being managed. This is just nature here. It's just doing its thing, and people love it. People are getting something out of it. And so you have that here where
You said that was in Seoul?
in Seoul. Yep.
Are
So
there any examples of those in like the States?
you mean the United States
Like
of America,
Yes.
or like other states?
In the
No.
States.
You mean reversing
I didn't
something
see it.
like
Yeah,
this?
I mean, I've seen
Like,
other
it sounds
examples.
like it's
so
something that
in like
will happen
Singapore,
elsewhere.
well,
they-
hopefully it's
Well, that's
not a
not the
reverse.
States.
I know, I'm
of
just saying. I'm just saying that you have this in other places that
Yeah.
they have made these relationships, urban development. A lot of these places and countries are much smaller than America. So I think we have this thing. We're in this expansionist mindset, going out west and exploring and taking over, and
Well,
claiming
we
it your
still
own.
have that manifest destiny.
Right. And I think that's still part of this whole
process.
thing. And when people want to do something great and leave their legacy, I think these are the projects they think of. They don't think of, let me put my name on this forest and preserve that. It goes, let me build this concrete structure that will be my thing, that people will come and go, that's what I remember. I remember the great thing that this politician or this person did. in their lifetime. And I think that mindset still exists, instead of going, well, let me protect this green space. And there are people that do that, but I'm just saying that we need more people, especially people with means, people with power, political.
But we can definitely look at examples of communities stopping similar projects.
Yeah, right. That's right.
So, question. Would it be on the table for Hammond to sell the land?
I think that's kind of a big fear of mine, to be honest.
No, hold on.
Okay.
What if, like, can an organization like
Oh,
yours
Right.
go ahead and buy? Like, I know it's a
The
stretch.
dollar amount, right?
Yes, but what do you think they would give you an amount for it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, I think that if we were dealing with a reasonable mayor and a city administration that wasn't totally corrupt, yes. Like, I know that
It's true.
Like Lakeside Woods, Save Lakeside Woods was a campaign that I think was in New Buffalo or Three Oaks, Michigan.
Okay.
They were able to do that. They were able to fundraise and buy the land from whomever it was owned by. I'm not sure, but again, like we said, like the mayor, it's as much about the development for him as it is about his ego.
That whole,
Yeah.
that's what.
And so I think there's no price he could possibly put on that. Unless he gets the Bears Stadium, and then maybe he'd forget about it. But
right.
It's
Do you-
kind of
do
like
you
when you
think there
give
would be
like a
any-
baby a pacifier, you
Exactly.
know,
But that's what I'm saying.
or put
Like-
an iPad in front of a toddler. But when Joe was talking, he was talking about, like I was thinking about, imagine like how different Manhattan would be without Central Park
right.
Yeah.
if they had paved over every last inch of that, because the woods don't
Yeah.
make any money.
Or Chicago.
But
right?
it's,
Yeah.
but as you said in your opening, and when you first read that out, there is a value in leaving it alone. It's valuable in its own right.
Or reclaiming it or appreciating it. That was the Burnham plan. So Daniel Burnham, he had designed the World's Fair, and his plan for Chicago was to develop the green space. So we think back when the World's Fair, in your kind of late 1800s, you had Gary and Chicago were equally sized cities. You can make some argument that the trains all went through Chicago and weren't but still they were both industrialized and powerhouse cities. And really it was this plan to develop the lakefront and to invest in. And a lot of industrialists were like, what are you talking about? This makes us, Lake Michigan, this beach makes us no money. But if we put this mill here, we put this here, then we will. And he goes, whoa, you know what? Someday people are going to want to come here. They're going to spend money to vacation and kind of take advantage of that. And Chicago, that was their kind of pivot. If you look at that, the World's Fair was that pivot that they began to develop and really put effort into maintaining green spaces and interconnected parks along the lake. And, and people still defend that. When I think, was it Lucas wanted to put a museum in?
Yeah.
People rallied against that. Obama president, people rallied and said, whoa, you can't put this here. This is our green space. And as Georgia was mentioned earlier, there's a lot of community came in because they saw the value in that. And it's the same thing happened in Hammond. People are seeing the value. The residents are saying, hey, this is important to us. Why can't we develop this and make this a destination? Right? That could be the
not
opposite.
even develop it, but just protect it.
Right. Protect it and make it that destination. Make it something there. Close by is Gibson Woods, right? That's just not too far. You have these great green space corridors. Wolf Lake in Hammond also, great. And they have made some investments there, but that's the thing that's missing, this vision. It's always concrete and steel and not kind of green and squishy.
But it's the value comes in the green space. In the green space, yeah.
I think, isn't Indiana Dunes like the most visited national park in
one of them,
Eastern America or whatever?
No kidding, really? Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I don't know. That's the only one I go to, though.
I know.
Case in point.
Data.
Case in point.
Name the
I don't know
other
where anyone
national
else
parks in
is.
the-
You're
yeah,
a
right.
trendsetter, so.
And Nick,
I remember seeing someone at the dunes and at like the beach kind of dunes, and it was in the parking lot. They were like, yeah, we're like lost. We're like looking, we want to go see some dunes. And I was like, oh, well, the beach is that way. And they're like, no, I'm just interested in the dunes. And I was like, well, let me tell you about a little place called Briar East Woods.
that's the real dunes.
Oh, you want to see some dunes?
But yeah, it's in thinking about all this, and we talk about industrialists and stuff, and I like to draw people in, but on the podcast, we don't give DC a lot of love. And so I want to touch upon a DC character.
Oh, I thought we were
episode.
talking about the state, DC.
So,
And I'm like,
no.
all right, you're really going to go
I
a
thought you
weird
were
swing
afraid-
here, buddy.
I
Now you're
want to
talking
talk a
about the
little about
government.
I want to talk about
There's a
poison
reason that we
ivy.
don't.
Poison ivy, because I was thinking about defenders who become the villain, right? That you cross the line and you have this. And so in fiction, we talked about the woods kind of defending themselves, trees, and there's plenty of movies and that happens. Signals go out and people jumping off of buildings.
Don't give Mayor
No.
McDermott any
Yeah.
ideas. He's going to think
But I was saying,
eco terrorist or something like that.
Poison ivy, yeah. I mean, that was she was a botanist, scientist, and then became this defender. Had an accident, gained superpowers. She could communicate with the plants and control them and toxins and all this. But then she was just like, she was ruthless about it. It was just like, oh, you were. Poison ivy, yeah.
But, like,
Give me them powers.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's very interesting that you have this, this pull on it. Like, where's that line, right? It's an interesting thing, and it's labeled as a villain. Whereas you look at it
I do
now,
think
like
that's
you were
the way you're reading it, like
Right.
the way it's
Right.
being written is how you're supposed to be taking it.
That's because Batman's supposed to be the hero.
And Batman's a rich billionaire. That's
Yeah, right. He's an industrialist,
Oh,
right?
industrial gambling.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, mentally ill.
Aside from turning into poison ivy, but like it's like if somebody was listening to the podcast and they're learning about Briar East Woods and it's in danger, what is there something that they could do or way that they can get involved?
Yes.
I like the poison ivy route.
Thank you.
I want to bring
go
up
back to
something.
that.
One more point on that
Yeah.
is that I didn't know this guy, Ra'al Ghul.
Ra'al Ghul?
Yeah, right. He's also a Batman villain.
Yes.
But he also was like trying to save. His whole thing was like,
His daughter
humans-
gives
right. Yeah.
Bruce's son.
I know. I
Yeah.
didn't realize all that. I was like, oh, but it's once again Batman versus like an industrialist versus
Yeah.
kind of a naturalist. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
like this
all
little
Batman
thing.
is.
And I've said it before, I'm not a huge Batman fan for a number of reasons, but this is after researching a little bit of this, I'm like, you know what? Industrialists suck.
Let's do it.
So, I'm
I
gonna
can't
go
wait
there.
for our
So,
episode on Batman.
yeah.
I'm going to tear into him so hard. All the DC fans are going to be upset
all
with
right.
me.
Now back to the
Yeah,
reality.
back to, do not do poison ivy style.
Unless you get the powers.
Yeah, we have to have the powers
the
first.
powers,
Yeah.
and yes, use them for
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Go out against some
Right. So
industrialists, but
I'm
Second
sorry,
to being poison ivy, what
are you a fan of? Are you?
I guess I've never seen it, so I heard what you were describing, and I was like, oh, I like her a lot. I guess I didn't put it together. She's actually a villain. Okay.
But is
She's
she
a
right? You're
baddie,
like,
though.
but is she?
That's
Like,
what I'm
you know,
saying. I don't
like
know.
maybe an anti-hero. Let's give her, like a Wolverine
Let's hear
or
her out,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, let's. You did what? Who did that? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna look the other way.
I think it's interesting though, like all these media comparisons you're drawing, like they really do a good job of villainizing and demonizing the natural world. And I don't
Yes,
think it's a
I do.
coincidence at all.
Yeah.
And that's why, the city of Hammond, for example, is so good at making the case
Yeah,
for that because
that's right.
people are alienated.
Those dirty woods.
That's right. Yeah, it's that whole thing. I mean, that's the point. Even if people trying to save the woods, they become in media as we think about it. Where's the positive? I think Swamp Thing, the positive Man
Thing and Swamp
So there's
Thing
a
are
few
both
who are in there who
positives.
are like a little more positive. They're true protectors. But you're right. Usually the woods get framed in that horror kind of idea. We talk about the positive
Untamed.
benefits, but then you have
Yeah.
right that you go in, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna come out with a kid, right? I mean, so that's like
Come out with the miracle of life.
That might be
That's
good
great.
for
No,
some.
but no, you're right. I think that's something, and that's kind of to illuminate that here. So as people read and watch fiction, they can think about that as they're consuming it. Like, what are they being taught or shown? Because
Yeah.
these are the examples that we're going to go and see.
Yeah.
So how do we counter that? In these things, and who are these positive examples, right? And you're just talking about people can become one of the positive kind of champions of the woods.
Well, yeah, not just when you're reading fiction, too. When you're reading the news or reading
No, is
your
that not fiction? No, I'm more confused these days.
when you're hearing what your mayor has to say about a local development project, Listen carefully.
You know,
Yeah.
it's when I talk
Watch
to
it,
people
Steve.
about stuff like this, it seems like I'm making it up. It's such it's such a cartoonishly just evil thing to do, to propose a project that costs way more money than it would cost to solve the problem that you say that you want to solve. If you want to make sure that kids get to go to school safely, then just why don't you just build the bridge?
Right.
Or if you need emergency vehicle access, why cut it off?
Exactly.
If you want a housing development, say it with your chest, man. Come on. Be a man.
Yeah,
Don't use the
really.
kid. Don't hide behind the kids.
We got plenty of vacant houses in Hammond. Why don't they just build the townhouses? If the point is to build townhouse, but then you don't get to look at the pretty trees outside the window, right? Yeah.
I mean,
I have a couple of those for the.
but
But
in a new development, you
Yeah.
can do that, right? I think the other thing, and I mean, it's mentioned several times. I think everyone that you have this 5,000 old forest that took time to develop. You just can't pave over that and put some trees in, some saplings. They're not going to have the same benefit. So I think what you want to do is go ahead. You're right. Or why don't you revitalize other areas? But that means displacing people. That's a harder political sell. Cutting through a forest with no voice, that's much easier, right? That's the thing. Really, it's about voice. The trees don't put up resistance or have a voice. So if you want to bulldoze through, unless citizens come up and say, hey, this is bad, no one's going to stop that because that's going to go. But if you go into one of these areas, even if it's a economically depressed area and you start bulldozing it, you'll have people, gentrification. You have a lot of people rally around that to put up all sorts of roadblocks. So politically, it's somewhat easier in your head. The calculation you're making is this is the easier calculus to do it here and take out this forest. This 32 acres. No one, it's just trees. Let's take it out. And forgetting this history, forgetting about the effects on climate, the sponge kind of effect on rainwater. So I think that's what's happening in this when you come into these areas, that people aren't thinking. It's kind of, yeah, you're right. That would make more sense. There's a lot of places we can look in, a lot of towns and cities and go, you know what, this area is ripe for some renewal. That's a lot of political capital. It's weird. You got to go in. There's historical things. There's red line. There's all sorts of issues that come in. Whereas if it's just some wooded area, you know what? Hey, we can do it right here and do that and take it out. So
Last month, Hammond auctioned off, I think it was Veterans Park for housing. And so it was a park in a neighborhood, and then it's like, all right, that's going to be housing. Last year or 2 years ago, it was Clark baseball fields. That's housing.
Yeah.
And they're not,
Are people moving into these spots as quickly as they're trying to build them? Like,
and they're
we're about
they're
to
spending
hit some
they're spending
major
500
economic crisis.
They're spending $500,000 on these
Wow.
houses too.
Wow.
They're not solving the housing crisis.
Right, you're
They're
not. This isn't about
They're
that.
solving some, make some money in my
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the thing too, is like what Mary's saying. It's like it's so comically obvious once you're aware of the basic facts of the situation, but they're relying on people not paying
Not paying
attention
attention, right.
and
That's
not
right.
coming together. And that's why I think the best thing you can do to save Briar East Woods, or to just pay attention to what's happening around and the erasure of green spaces, is to be informed and, like, you know, listen to podcasts like this and learn about what's going on. Go to public meetings and stuff and see what's happening in your town, because if people don't know about it, they can just get
That's
away
right.
with it, even if it's so glaringly
And
obvious.
you guys have a website. And
Yeah. So our website is called SaveBriarEastWoods.com, and it has all the information about it. And our social media is all Save
Yep.
Briar East Woods.
And
We'll put links on the show notes and have that. So TJ, you were saying?
if at all possible, go to Briar East Woods.
Breathe in that.
Yes.
Contribute your CO2 to the development,
the
to help out
benefits of
the
being out in
benefits. You'll feel
nature.
better. You'll be smarter. Well, I don't know about that, but
Ooh,
You will be
that's-
smarter.
You'll see some fences that you'll navigate around, and then
Are they jumpable?
they're walk aroundable.
they're walking around. You don't gotta jump. You're getting a little old there, Dick.
It's on Kentucky
Whoa.
Avenue.
Well, I got this still. Don't worry.
But it's like the difference between parks and nature. You know, it's,
Yeah.
I mean, parks are valuable. Don't get me wrong. I love a park, but you know, Nate, there's something just so primal and just so invigorating about.
I want to call a park nature too. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want that message to get out. I think the park is nature. I think the forest.
We're
I think
all
it's different,
pro parks here.
We're all pro
We're
parks
not
and
anti-parks.
forests. We don't want to destroy it. I don't want
Not a bit.
the
Not a
mayor
bit.
calling up like, "Hey, I heard on Rebel Research that these parks are fair game now."
Well,
so
his,
they
I
are
don't think
fair
his
game. I think
kids.
they are.
His kids don't
Yeah.
play sports anymore, so
Yeah.
I think the parks are fair game. yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
green space should be protected. Especially, also we talk about these areas that are economically depressed, and people take that away. That the parks are, and they're going to put things like data centers in, right? Which is even not even a benefit of housing now. It's just now something else in poor areas, economically depressed areas.
That's a different episode.
It's a different episode.
Yeah, a whole different. Yeah,
Where's the best place
that's
to
a
put
whole other
that? Is a
episode.
green space, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
no one's there. It's just no one's there. No one's using it. Why can't we just use it, right? So I think that's the same mentality. That I think it's more about.
But I think
thinking about
Mary's
these green
saying
spaces.
there's even something even more because it is that organic
Right,
spot
right,
that's
right.
been untouched.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that history you're talking about, and it's the things that are there, you know, like you think of a park and you think of like, okay, this is like a nice place I can walk my dog or play sports. There's lawn. There might be like a little wild area, but to experience the natural wild landscape and like all that history and all those plants, and you learn a lot about the place that you're in, and I think you feel a real that primal connection that you're talking about with like being in nature and how it's calming and how it's like there's something so instinctual about.
All right. So
Not
if we're
being there.
we're going to Briar East. What animals, wildlife can we expect to see?
Well, my favorite is that there is nesting barred owls there.
Yes, there
nice.
are. Yeah.
Nice.
But there's all kinds. There's foxes,
There's raccoons.
Raccoons.
There's
Frogs, right?
There are bullfrogs.
there's frogs. There's bats.
Bats.
There's hawks, red-tailed hawks,
Cicadas.
eagles.
Cicadas everywhere.
We have cicadas everywhere.
Was Briar East, did they have the cicada bloom? Was that a couple of years ago? You had everyone. There was like the
Oh,
17-year
All over the place. Yeah.
all over. So that had to be exciting. Yeah, a lot of
yeah.
folks. And did
Oh,
you
yeah.
eat? Did you try the cicada? Did you go get
I would
some?
never.
They're edible.
It's my
They're-
favorite animal,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what they are. Like, yeah, no, they are edible. Like
So
you can eat them.
He doesn't want to hear that.
I'm just
That's
saying.
nature's chorus, bro.
Maybe it's
They're there.
nature's
They're
snack,
there to
you know?
listen.
I think I like crickets more than cicadas.
You're joking.
I'm
Mealworms
not.
are
I
pretty good.
love the sound of
I mean,
crickets.
look, I love the sound of
I thought you
crickets.
were
You were
Eating.
talking about
No,
eating.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
You
You know,
haven't
you
lived
just get a
until you
little.
had some mealworms. Like, so that's yeah. Okay.
I have eaten crickets.
It's the other
See,
white meat.
crickets are crickets are edible. Thank
It's
you.
the other white meat, right? So,
So, question for you guys: you said it's primal, right? Do you guys ever just go out there and just scream, like top of your lungs? Just
I normally scream and blab and it's a very loaded topic for me.
like just a good primal rage out, like let it all out.
And that can make you feel really good.
It does.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. We're talking about, like connecting with the earth, and
yeah. Go
sometimes
in
just getting all of it
Nick
off
just
of
wants
you.
to go. He's like, how
I just want to
I
go
just wanna get
scream
in there.
somewhere, and
How
no one's
far
going to hear
in
me.
do I gotta go?
It's a
I
good
mean-
place to do it. The trees
Yeah.
block the sound.
See?
No
Yeah.
one's gonna
See, there it is.
It won't help the crime happening in
That's
Briar
right,
from
yeah.
these allegations.
Yeah.
Or
It's a good
or
place
it
for serial
will.
killers. Like,
Just
"Ooh, we
start,
write that down."
start a horror story about me being
That's right.
stuck out there.
No one will move
right.
into a haunted forest.
Exactly. I'll haunt people. I'm
That's
cool
right.
with it.
He's got the
I've done it
poltergeist
before.
motto right there.
I think we're circling
I
back
like
to the
that.
poison ivy. tactics.
Exactly. I'll be the Blair Witch of
Briar, yeah.
Briar East.
Briar East
Don't
Witch.
Make
I
the mistake
encourage-
I made.
I encourage people to live in Briar East Woods.
Yeah.
Just don't build a house.
No, just in the land.
Go
Purchase
go
there.
haunt Briar East Woods. If you want to help Briar East Woods, follow the
You guys need
Instagram.
to. Yeah.
Get the yard sign.
Yeah.
Go live in Briar East Woods. I'm so serious.
Just don't
You guys
develop.
need a cryptid.
We do
Like,
get
you know, you need like
wonderful.
a Bigfoot or something. Like Bigfoot's taken Pacific Northwest, but you
Actually,
need
Indiana has plenty of cryptids.
but they need one in Briar East.
to tell.
Yeah. Well,
That also
we'll go
is
over it on a
a-
different.
That's also
That'll be in the show notes, maybe next time I get on that.
That's on the mini. That's,
So we're going to wrap up here, but I want to ask this because we touched on fiction a little bit, and fiction in particular about giving trees a voice. in different modes, be it positive, be it horror, be it or vigilante. But the woods have something. But you guys are spending a lot of time volunteering your time. So this question's for both of you. What does the forest say? What does Briar East say to you that you wish people listening to this podcast, people wanting to build a bridge there, what do you want them to hear from the tree? You're now the mouthpiece of the trees, so you got it.
I'm alive. I'm still here, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, like, look at me, appreciate me. They're so overlooked, or the city wants them to be. I mean, the neighborhood appreciates it so much. Anyone who knows about it and who's been there can recognize that. But, I mean, they are alive and they're important and they provide so much benefit. And I wish that they could tell people all about it.
They will if you go there.
Yeah.
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 We're just too stupid humans to understand their language, right? That's what you're saying. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. Anyone else? You got,
What?
were you saying something?
No,
okay.
all I thought of when they were saying that is the tree from Pocahontas.
The tree
No,
from Pocahontas?
you guys don't remember the tree from Pocahontas?
No.
There was like, it looked like an old lady's face is just like, and she talks to her and she's just like old and wise.
Remember the
Come on, none of you.
No. Remember the mean trees from Wizard of Oz?
I was just saying,
They're
yeah,
throwing-
if you
yeah,
go to
right.
Briar East
That's
Woods,
right,
the
yeah.
trees will throw things
More
at you.
anti-nature
Only if you're an
propaganda.
industrialist, they'll know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like you can see into your heart. It's like, it's like a soul test. Like you
That's why
go
the
there.
mayor wants him gone.
They're talking to him.
Do you guys have anything else to plug before we wrap up? Personal or about the project?
Yeah.
Well, you should follow the social media. We do sell merchandise also if you visit the website. So if you want shirts,
SaveBriarEastWoods.com.
SaveBriarEastWoods.com. We have cool new Grateful Dead t-shirts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sadly, you can't see it. There's no video, but I'm wearing.
We are going to take a
We'll
picture.
take a picture.
Yeah.
Rock on.
So-
You
I
get
got-
it.
I got.
And personally, though, you do music also, right? Is that
I
right?
do
You don't want to
music
talk
Go
as
ahead
about
and
well.
plug that
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, I'll give a little plug. I make music, folk music, singer, songwriter,
Yeah.
under the moniker Terra Firma, T-A-R-A, Firma, which you can stream anywhere you like.
Nice.
And I'm also in a new band called Shy Bronco. We're a rock band. We're playing on Wednesday, August 26th at the Owl in Logan Square,
Oh, yeah.
Chicago.
I like
Very
that. That's with the
nice.
winking sign.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
love
That's a
that
good
place.
place.
Oh, you talk about. I've never been in there.
It's
To
a
go.
nice spot.
All right, I'll have to put that on my
It's featured in, what is it? The
Dark Matter.
Killer Pinata.
The Killer Pinata.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
That's
the
right.
forgot
Killer
about that.
Pinata has some outtakes
I should
like
yeah.
of, and the owl is in it.
Interesting.
Anyway,
We'll have
I think
to
Dark Matter too. The Apple
yeah.
Plus TV set in Chicago.
They
have
also-
right in that
you also
neighborhood.
see
yeah,
it there.
That's a great sign.
Kind
I
of
love that sign.
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
We're also playing on Sunday, August 30th at the Cellar Door in Michigan City.
Okay.
very
And
nice.
hell
you can
yeah.
follow us at Shy _Bronco on Instagram.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
TJ, anything? You played harmonica or something? No,
I play the accordion.
He's actually going to be hanging out in the
That's right,
forest,
yeah.
haunting it from now
He's going
on.
to be in the forest. He'll be doing it. He's going to have the mask like, aha, it's just TJ.
I did record. I recorded some like ambient field recording music in Briar East Woods, and it was me and my friend recording, and it was just like long drone sounds, and then I would do like bird noises with different bird calls. I thought it must have sounded like it was haunted that day.
There it is.
We need to post
Yeah,
that.
right, yeah.
Very cool.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think this has been a fascinating conversation.
Thank you both so
Thank
very
you
much
so
for
much.
being
Thank you
with
for
us.
having
about
us.
this.
You guys are so much fun. to
Yeah,
hang
this
out
is
with.
such a great time.
Well, you guys are welcome back anytime. You can talk about something else. We can pick another topic.
Batman.
Batman.
TJ's going to read up on Poison Ivy. He's like, I want to be back for the Poison Ivy episode.
I'm gonna come up
Yeah.
with a Poison Ivy manifesto.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
watch
that's
the
right,
Harley Quinn cartoon show on HBO Max. Fantastic. She's in it.
All right.
Yeah, there it is. So that'll be your
got some
next
homework.
merch. Your merch will be like, Poison Ivy. See what happens there. I don't know. It's a mixed message. Okay. Yeah. So you have me, Joe.
You got Nick.
We got Nick.
Georgia.
We got Georgia.
You got
We
Mary.
got Mary.
And we went down.
You guys stay safe, stay curious, go visit the woods, go
Haunt
to
the
Briar
forest.
East, check it out.
Go haunt
breathe
Briar
it
East
in.
Woods.
Love it.
Bye bye.
We love y'all.